Howdy, what's up?
Hands have inspired many filmmakers and writers in the past. So what interested you in this idea?
With hands. I remember I was in a car accident when I was 16 years old and I split my face open here. They thought I might have fractured my spine. I had to go to hospital and while I was in there, I just couldn't stop shaking. I was like shaking. They thought I was cold. They tried to bring in jumpers and extra blankets and turn on the heaters, but I just physically couldn't stop shaking. Then my sister came in, she visited me, she sat next to me, and then she held my hand and then the shaking just stopped. And I wasn't shaking because I was cold, I was shaking because I was in shock, and the touch of someone that I loved brought me out of it. And that was always a really strong moment to me, and I always remembered that the power of touch can pull you out of something like that. And throughout the first draft of the script, hands and touch and human connection was such a big thematic, like a reoccurring element that it just felt right to be our object of horror in the film.
Okay.
Yeah.
It also has a very strange shape. So could you tell me about the design with all the writings on it?
Yeah, we wanted the hand to be reaching and desperate. The actual mold, it took like 20 molds to find the actual, shape. Because originally it was like, apart, this didn't work, and we'll triangle a bunch of different things. Because it needed to be mobile for the actor to be able to move it around as well. So it just had to be, And it was from the cemetery, and we're running out of like coffins to open hands to mold. So we found it though towards the end. Yeah, we cut off this corpse's hand and we molded it. That could have been a true story, you never know. No. It was our production designer, she molded it. And we just wanted the hand to have a sense of history, Yeah.
Okay. And so what was the main challenge, on this adventure? I mean, financing or doing the shooting?
The fact that short shoot. It was 5 weeks for shoot. We went down to 8 initially, we went down to 5 weeks. So our back was up against the wall for every day. It was every day there was so much to get through. And there was some times where we had 2 days to wrap a location and we wouldn't be going back. So we did a lot of like shooting one day, going home and editing all night, and then going back with no sleep to get the second day. Yeah. So we did a bunch of 2-3 days. Just to make sure that you got every single thing that you could get. So we couldn't afford to go back and get any pickup shots. But we had such an amazing cast and crew that we're able to get through that amount of material. And we're looking forward to next film. If we are blessed enough to do a second film, having a bit more time would be great. Yeah.
Well, I hope you will.
So will I, please.
So now, could you tell me how the atmosphere, the character's mind influenced you in your choice of lenses and also filming, the different scenes?
Yeah. It was like a big collaboration with our cinematographer, Aaron McCliskey, and all the way through we'd be shooting scenes just on our iPhones and piecing them together. And we just knew that we wanted the possession sequences to feel different and feel as if the camera was tied to the spirit that was embodying the characters, and for it to feel like astral projection, a little bit, have that floaty, like lingering cam. So that was a decision for the possession sequences. Yeah, finding the visual language with Aaron was so much fun in pre-production. So and he's so talented. We never had to, like say Sophie with acting, with McCliskey, you never had to worry about a shot looking, kind of crappy. Yeah, he always nailed it. And then also even like subtle things that we did, we removed all the lens flares in post, but left one in a dream sequence, just so that could feel a bit more like a bit more surreal. So we did subtle things like that as well.
I'm also a big fan of special makeup effects, and you have really great ones in in the film. Yeah. Could you tell me about the conception of the dead people, if you can?
Oh yeah. We just our makeup department was super thick, and our prosthetics department was so game. They were so keen, and they really ran for it. And we're very specific about things that we wanted, and they just bought it. I know that like some of the effects took 6 hours to apply, and there was some that went. It was like 4 or 5 hours of application, and they were on set for like 10 minutes. But like we were very. Yeah, I don't know, we love practical effects as well. Yeah, it's something that we've always just done since kids, as things as practically as possible. And through YouTube, we worked with a makeup artist, Beck Barato, who was really good with the blood effects. So we always were trying different things. So, and we got her on as a head of department on the makeup department on Talk to Me. So she designed all the possession makeup and all that. So yeah, I agree. Practical effects are the best. Yeah.
You shot with with the dog and the kangaroo. Maybe 2 kangaroos? No,
Oh,
one,
yeah,
one
you
real,
wrote.
one
Yeah,
real
yeah.
one. I don't.
One real one, one dead one.
No, one real one, one puppet one.
Yeah, puppets. Yeah.
And the kissing wasn't. There was that's not. Wasn't the actual dog.
He didn't ask about the kissing.
Okay. Well, maybe he was implying.
Yeah.
I was, but how difficult it is to shoot with animals, you know.
Difficult. The first AD put half an hour for this kangaroo shot. There's a shot kangaroo in the hallway. And we're like, I think it's going to take a bit longer than that.
You didn't say that. We're like, yeah, we'll get it. And then.
You know, I knew it wasn't going to. Because it bounced, never bounced the way it was supposed to. It bounced in the room, the opposite way, or not far enough, or just stood there.
Yeah, yeah.
It was hard to get that kangaroo.
And Brigitte was just very loud. She was like, over all the dialogue. And she kept hooking up with cast members.
Okay, so this is the most difficult shot of the film, I guess.
Yeah.
So, last question: what made you fall in love with cinema?
Oh
Or
man, just the escapism of it, and for me, our mum was always very specific about what we could and couldn't watch, and so she wouldn't allow us to watch horror films. And to have that experience, watching something you know you're not supposed to watch as a kid, is it's like a rite of passage coming of age. Watching something completely violent and horrifying and being traumatized is just part of growing up. And yeah, I just remember there's a lot of those memories that stick with me for cinema.